Well, I tell you what, it's all going on here, Becky. I don't know if you can hear the atmosphere. There's a lot of noise around me. And all of a sudden, the press have all just moved in because Rob himself now is just waiting right next to where the finish line is. He's waiting to meet his mate. Of course, Kevin Sinfield famously has said throughout this, run for a mate. I've been here all morning, and one of the things that has just been it's almost been, you can see it in the air, Becky, it's so tangible, is that sense of community, of mates, of friendship, of people all coming together. So now Rob is just waiting at the side of the track where it's going to come in, and we're expecting Kev to come in at any point, and we're also expecting Lindsay, also who's been running the half marathon, to come in at any point. So the sense of expectation back at Becky, well, honestly, is absolutely massive as people just keep coming over the finish line. Over 14,000 people in these two races this morning.
Honestly, my goose knobs have gone right up right now. You know, you've managed to paint that scene so beautifully. And, you know, it is this sense of community, and the fact, you know, that when you just said that, you know, do it for a friend. And we all know somebody, don't we? So how far do we think Kev is now? He's not far, is he?
He's not far at all. So we keep getting reports of where he is, and we kind of keep getting estimated time. So it could be any minute. It could be a few more minutes. What I know is that Rob is still waiting to go onto the actual finish line. But as soon as Kev is coming around the corner, I know Rob will move out onto the finish line. But you know, Becky, I genuinely think, I mean, this is the second time that I've done this marathon, and of course last year I was the person who burst into tears live on radio when, at that very moment when Kev picked up Rob and Karen. And do you know what? Even just talking about
it's made me go. You've made me go.
Don't. And honestly, Kev hasn't even come through, and Lindsay hasn't even come through yet. You know, but it's the same thing last year. You know, you've got one of the stands here at the Leeds Rhino Stadium is absolutely full of spectators, and then there's all the runners are kind of walking around the pitch. It is so packed with people. All the cameras have just been lifted now, which I think means that they're getting very, very close. But you know, the atmosphere is so good. It is, honestly, it's so joyous, it's so happy, and that's one of the things I love. You know, my dad was disabled, right? I grew up with a disabled father who was in the spotlight, and when I was growing up in those days, you didn't really see a lot of joy, and you know, people talked about disability in a really kind of downhearted, negative way. Oh, wait a minute, everything, there's lots of cheering going, because here comes Lindsay. She's just come over the finish line. Her daughter has just the two daughters are hugging her. They've just put her medal on. She's coming over to Rob. She's now, she's there. She's touching Rob. She's just picking up her son into her arms, who's kissing her. It's just so fantastic with the daughters there putting her medal on her half marathon finish medal. She gave Rob the most loving look. Of course, everybody at this point is just trying to kind of touch Lindsay and say what a wonderful achievement she's done. She hardly looks out of breath, I'll be honest, Becky. But it's astonishing. She's got her own book is about to come out, so she's caring for Rob. She's looking after her family. She's doing all those things.
What a woman.
And you can see how close this family are. The smiles on her children's faces. Just now, they look so proud of their mum, so proud of their dad. Honestly, it's absolutely fantastic. I can't see Rob's face at the moment, but I'm sure his eyes will be smiling like anything. And as we know, when Rob's eyes smile, he lights up the world. He really, really does. It's really beautiful.
You've got us all in floods here. You really have.
God, it's
honestly,
so gorgeous.
Do you know what
I
could feel it. I can feel this sort of coming through right now. I'm in floods of tears right now. Do you know what I love, and what you've just said is that this is a day that is just so joyous. There is no anger there. There's no bitterness. There's no ego. There's nothing like that. It is a day of celebration and human spirit.
Absolutely, Becky, and also I think a celebration, and I would say this as someone who, as I say, had a disabled father, also had a disabled brother, that thing about really celebrating the fact that lots of people have, differences in their bodies that they need to cope with, but, to be so positive and to say, let's be joyous, and, because frankly, what Lindsay and Rob and Kev have done is just astonishing. This morning I was chatting to the lead fundraiser for the Leeds Children, the Leeds Hospital Fund, and he said they got 5.8 million and they needed 6.7. So they're very, very close to getting that money for a motor neurone centre, disease centre. And Rob himself has said, we know the service already that the NHS offers is fantastic, but he's saying he wants a centre where there's a lovely environment for that too, and where families can be together, and where people feel not just valued by the service but also by the physical surroundings when they're getting their medical care. And that sense of family is, not just because Rob's family is here, his kids are here, they're still smiling, Lindsay's still here, they're smiling, but also that sense of everybody who is here, who is running, is part of this family. And that is, isn't that just beautiful? Of course, everyone's still waiting for Kev to come through because, and when the three of them get together, it's going to be something else. They are Yorkshire heroes, aren't they, Becky? They just are so fantastic. What they've done to raise the money, but also what they've done to talk about the goodness of people. Just that goodness.
I think as well, Peggy, you just hit a nail on the head there in that, our NHS do wonderful things, but we know that they're stretched. And the point of the matter is with anything like this is that it does affect the whole family, and the whole family, it's like we're saying, we see you, and we want to make sure that everybody is supported. And I can imagine that is exactly what the centre is going to do. First and foremost, trying to sort of either find cures or help or whatever, but also protecting the family as a whole as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is so important. I'm just going to try and sneak in and say, Lindsay, would you have a really quick word with us? We're live on BBC Radio Leeds. You look fantastic. You don't even look tired.
I'm not sure about that. It was tough again. I think the heat. To think I was running that again. Hats off to anyone that's running the full marathon and the half marathon today, because it's tough conditions out there.
Lindsay, I burst into tears last year at the end. I nearly did again when I saw your children kissing you, hugging you. Oh, is this Kevin coming in now? He's coming in. Oh, he's coming in. Lindsay's going into the middle to clap him and cheer him in. Let's see, where's he coming in? I'm just trying to. Here he comes. Hey! I tell you what, Lindsay's daughter's put his medal on. He's stopped by Rob. He's shaking hands with Rob and Lindsay's other daughter and with their son there, and now he's talking to his best mate. He ran for his mate. I'm doing it again, Becky. I said to myself, I'm not going to do it. I said, don't do it because it will just sound like really cheesy. No, but I'm doing it. He's
real,
leaning
mate.
forward. He's loving his best mate. I mean, this is it, right? We don't often see men being so tender and caring to each other, do we? And here he is, and here is Rob, and they're just fantastic best mates. It's just so fantastic.
Literally, you're all right. Do you know what I mean? You carry on, because I've got tears streaming down my face right now. Honestly, someone needs to get me the tissues, because it's not looking pretty here at BBC Radio Leeds Control Centre, I can assure you. Darling, it is, literally so wonderful to hear all of this. It really is. And I can imagine they're being grabbed by everybody at the moment, are they?
Oh, do you know what? I'm actually feeling really out of breath.
It's like you've run it yourself, Peg, is what it is.
I do. I feel like I've emotionally run it myself. I tell you what, I've got dodgy knees. I ain't running anywhere. Emotionally, I've run it as well. And I think most of the other people, all the thousands of people in this stadium, feel like they've done that as well, whether they've actually run it or not. There isn't a single face that isn't beaming with smiles and adoration and, frankly, Yorkshire pride just now.
Just gorgeous. Well, I know you're going to try and grab a chat with Kev if you can, but also I can imagine.
Back over here in a second.
Yeah, he's going over. He's going off to get some stuff. I'll try and grab him if we can in a bit, and we'll get that over to you.
Amazing. Well, listen, Peg, breathe it in, darling. Literally breathe it in. Yeah, and thank you so much for sharing the atmosphere with us. Thank you so much for sharing the emotion. Thank you for making my mascara run down my face.
Now just literally catching me breath.
Yeah, you know, but what you've done there as well is add that personal element. And I always say we've got the best job in the world. We're so lucky.
Oh my God, it's such a privilege. You know what?
Yeah.
To report, last year I felt it now, to report on things like this is such a privilege because you get to see the best of human beings.
Yes.
And goodness knows we need to see human beings at their best a lot at the moment, don't we?
Absolutely.
In these difficult times. And you get to see it, and how fantastic is that?
And we are awesome up north. I think it's as simple as that. No disrespect to our southern colleagues. Peg, go and catch your breath, my darling. Go and take your time, and thank you so much. And hopefully we'll hear a little chat with you and Kev a little bit later on. But much love, sweetheart.
You too. Take care.
Bye, darling. Gonna catch my own breath now. Weren't even there. Bless. Over the finish line right now at the Leeds Marathon and Half Marathon.